Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. Are you guys ready for alt season, man? Are you guys really ready for alt season, man? I believe our time is here. I think Trump just played a chess move. What he did, I didn't realize it at first. Um, I believe he definitely played a chess move. He threatened, China and other countries with the tariffs, like something crazy, like over 100%, like 104% or five, whatever it was. Then all of a sudden, like the terrorists they were supposed to go live. The terrorists supposed to go live after midnight this morning. Then all of a sudden, we get the big news saying uh, that the terrorists have been paused for 90 days so they can negotiate with China. Me personally, man, definitely, I believe that this was a chess move by Trump. This was definitely a chess move by them. Um, and like I said, just for them to give us I guess, our bull run, our alt season. So a 90-day pause. What I'm thinking, what the first thing that came to my mind when they said the 90-day pause on the tariffs, and then the markets pumped today. Everything went up. The stock market went up. Uh, the cryptocurrency, Bitcoin went back up to 83K after dropping all the way down to 74,000. XRP went back up. ETH went back up. This is good news. So I'm thinking we could have a 3 month alt season, a parabolic alt season, the next 3 months, and then maybe that's going to be our bull cycle after that 90-day pause or whatever. But we'll definitely see. I believe we're going to go further than that. Honestly, this is good news. The fact that he paused everything, I'm starting to feel like Trump literally he did this on purpose to scare everybody, to dump the markets, both crypto and stocks, and then do this pause to go ahead and start pumping everything. Because we know that the big money's been buying into crypto, man. These big millionaires and billionaires, they've been buying in, over the last, 4 months that the market has been down, especially the altcoins, the low cap utilities, that we all talk about every day. But anyways, take a look at a couple of cryptocurrencies here. Um, okay, there's Titan X. We went up 16% today. Another low cap utility that's in my arsenal. Titan X. Um, we did good today. Bad AI. You know, this was a top mover in my portfolio, right? By the way, the bad AI. What's funny is I had just added another. First, I had like, okay, I think I had about a week and a half ago, I had about 24 billion. Then I bought another 6 billion bad AI. I was at 30 billion. And then it was the other day, right when we had that dip. Um, Last week we had that dip. Several days ago, I went ahead and picked up another 10 billion bad AI. And just the other day, now I'm at 40 billion, and then we pumped it. Hey, nice. That's what I've been talking about, guys, for the last few months. We just got to keep DCAing in, buying the dips, and then it's going to pay off eventually once the market pumps. So I'm glad I did two good DCAs into bad AI. I'm holding a pretty nice bag of bad. But yeah, man. Then we got Zen Crypto. Uh, Take a look at Zen. We were up 16%. Another one of my this is another one I loaded up. I picked up another billion Zen the other day. I think it was yesterday or the day before. Forgot, but I picked up another 1 billion Zen. Added that to my arsenal. So yeah, man. These are my top overs. What else? And then we got White Rock. Check out White Rock. Got White Rock. We didn't really pump that much today, but I believe we're going to have another major pump. This is opportunity to pick up more. Actually, I picked up another 100,000 White Rock the other day. I think I was at about 300,000. So, but I went ahead and picked up another 100,000 of White Rock. I'm looking at it. I think it's still in a good accumulation zone. I'm thinking about just go ahead and pick up another 100,000 White Rock here pretty soon, probably tonight. White Rock is definitely going to explode. But anyways, guys, um, this market, even SORA, even XOR went up today. We went up about a little bit over 30%. This whole market went up. Even XCN, forgot to mention XCN, man. XCN um, blasted off today, man. It blasted off. I think at one point it went up. It went up like 45% for XCN. it went from, let's take a look at that 1 day chart. It went from like what 2 zeros 81 all the way back over a penny. It's up 36% for the week now. Both XCN and then Swift. Swift is another one. We have Swift. It blasted off. I think Swift also blasted off about 30%, but it looked like it just retraced in a 1 hour. It just kind of retraced in a 1 hour here for Swift. But anyways, guys, this whole market did pretty good. Check out XPR. XPR is up 14%. Man, I'm just seeing a bunch of green. Some people say, no, this is just a recovery or fake out. I don't believe this one is a fake out. I don't believe this one is a fake out because everything pumped today. The stock market, man, I was looking at stocks. Everything went in the green. It's looked good. So this whole 90-day pause, the markets has been reacting off everything, man. It reacted off of it. At first, I actually thought this morning the Tarriffs was going live tonight. I didn't even find out until Trump paused it until like later. I didn't even know that it would pause until later. But anyways, this is looking very good. Check this out. See what they're talking about here.
Felt pretty confining because markets were very volatile and mostly down. Consumers, retails fretting about higher prices. CEOs writing about potential recession chances increasing. The bond markets getting spooked. And that brought us to Liberation Day, the sequel. Midday today, when President Trump announced a 90-day pause on his planned reciprocal tariffs. Everyone gets a break except China. Tariffs against the world's second largest economy, that's China's, will now rise from 104% to a scheduled 125% tariff rate. Earlier today, China increased its retaliatory duties on U.S. imports to 84%. No word yet from Beijing on the latest increase from the Trump White House.
China is the most imbalanced economy in the history of the modern world, and they are the biggest source of the U.S. trade problems.
On Wall Street, well, the market flashed between red and green before, and this is the only word for it, skyrocketing after the president's announcement. The Dow surged 2,900 points up. The S&P 500 posted its biggest gain since 2008. And all we can now prepare for, I guess, is an elaborate game of let's make a deal.
A deal's going to be made with China. A deal's going to be made with every one of them. And there'll be fair deals. I just want fair.
I want to start tonight with Jill Schlesinger, who joins us from New York. Jill, you are very expert at this, but even by your long-standing expertise, today was a wild day.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that you mentioned 2008 because that's exactly the feeling I got, that I remembered feeling in the October of 2008 where the market was collapsing and then there was some sort of deal to bail out the banks and then it finally went up. So all of this does feel a little bit eerie. To be clear, though, at that time we were facing a massive financial and housing crisis. We're not there now. And this dive and now the recovery feels self-inflicted. And I think that's the frustrating thing from the point of view of an investor, which is, why do we have to go through this? Couldn't we just do the 10% from the beginning?
And Jill, I'm so glad you mentioned the 10% because that gets sort of lost in the headlines about this. So that 10% tariff rate, which now the White House describes as a floor, still exists. Exactly. And lots of people are saying, wait a minute, that's a $300 billion tariff tax on the U.S. economy, not as large as these others, but it's still there.
And not to mention the steel, the aluminum, the cars, the auto parts. And so, listen, I still think we face a problem. It's not as significant a problem, which is the market is telling this, and economists are telling us that we are facing a slowdown in economic growth, not as severe as we might have seen if those retaliatory tariffs were in place, as well as prices rising. That combination, that stagnating economy with inflation, stagflation, that is a scary word for a lot of people. It makes a lot of the business folks out there anxious because they really don't know what to do next. You know, Major, I was thinking about this. If you're at work and your boss tells you to go execute something, you say, fine, great, I'll go do it. And then 3 days later, it's a whole different game plan. You'd say, like, my God, that boss is crazy. Well, that's what we're living through.
What about China and the tariffs that the president announced increasing today? How does that filter through all this?
Well, I mean, I think it's going to be interesting to see what China does next. Remember that China has been preparing for this moment since election night. So they have been very skillful in not talking too much. They're building alliances with what were formerly enemies, and they are now talking about opening up alliances. I think there's a bit of a fear among the geopolitical part of this that we are pushing China into the arms of some of our allies. So I think these deals need to get done pretty quickly. Otherwise, remember, China is a huge supplier. China is also a consumer of our goods, not in the same scale, but they are. And so it's a huge market. It's going to be interesting to see how we get to the end of these negotiations, Major. One last thing, not to bring you down, because I don't want to do that to you, buddy. But we talked about that big rise in 2008. The U.S. stock market during the financial crisis did not bottom out until 2009. So it's going to be a bumpy ride, everyone. Hang on.
As the Chinese proverb goes, may you live in interesting times, not
indeed.
always meant as a gift. Jill Schlesinger, thank you very much.
Thanks.
All right, guys. So yeah, man. Let's see here. All righty. So everything blasted off. Take a look at Solana here. Got Solana, it went up 13%. Is at a dollar. I said a dollar. 119. So yeah, man, things is definitely looking good. Um, I'm looking at all these coins, man. I feel like I feel like a kid in a candy store right now looking at all this, man. I wish I even had more capital to load up on more, but hey, you only can buy some more. But you know, I ain't gonna lie, this kind of caught me off surprise. I didn't know this was gonna happen. This caught me off surprise with this the whole tariff pause for 3 months. So like I said, I believe this whole 3 months this is going to be our opportunity for retail to make these life-changing gains within 3 months, whatever happens after the 3 months. So we're still technically in the beginning of April, and what's funny is we're exactly a year out. We're about a year out from the Bitcoin halving. The Bitcoin halving was what, April 16th of last year, around there, April 16th or something like that. So we're about a year out from the Bitcoin halving. Um, yeah, so man, I'm very excited. Like I said, this caught a lot of us off surprise. Everything went up. So let's see what if this let's just see how long this momentum can stay up. Let's definitely see how long this momentum stays. They're talking about the 3 month pause. So man, we could probably see new all time highs coming. Maybe Bitcoin get head back, head back over 100K. Maybe hit a new all time high. Maybe hit like 120, 115, 120. But let's definitely see. 3 months, man. Bitcoin can do a lot in 3 months, man. I feel that Bitcoin, it could just do something crazy parabolic, maybe go up to like 130, 120, 130. 3 months, that's more than enough time for Bitcoin to do that. And then we can see altcoins just go crazy parabolic. And we're gonna, this market is gonna start printing millionaires, easy millionaires over the next like 3 months. So yeah, man, I believe that the market's reacted off of it. But let's see how if this momentum can stay. Wow, a lot of coins is pumped. Like I'm seeing like 30% pumps, 25% pumps. I'm seeing 40% plus pumps today. Man, this is looking real good. But anyways, I don't want to be too long. I'm going to get out of here. But yeah, man, thanks everybody for tuning in to the channel. By the way, hey, I'm going to be going live later on. I think tonight I'm trying to make it to the gym tonight. So I'm going to do a late night live tonight. Hopefully, if I don't get too tired, I'm going to do a late night live, maybe like around like between like 10 to 11 p.m. or something like that. If not, if I get too tired and if I'm just too tired to do the late night live, I'm gonna definitely do one early in the morning, like around like between like 5 to 6 a.m. do an early morning live tomorrow. That's if I can't do if I can't do the late night live tonight. That'll be Pacific West Coast time. But anyways, hey, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, post notifications. Anybody, if you guys haven't joined the Patreon yet, man, definitely get on over here to the Patreon, man. I got low cap utility gems that I'm covering over here all the time. I just covered one like about 2 to 3 days ago. We got our chat group and everything. Definitely get over here to the Patreon if you're new. Like I said, I'm looking for serious people, serious like-minded, crypto investors. Who can see past all the FUD and everything. So definitely get over to the Patreon, man. It's only $15 to sign up. $15 a month. You can't beat that. Like I said, I don't know how long I'm going to have it at that price. I'm thinking about going up to $20 soon for the Patreon. But everybody who's already a Patreon member, don't have to worry about anything. You guys are already grandfathered in, for the 15 a month. But like I said, I don't know how long I'm going to keep it at the $15 a month to sign up, though. Besides everybody who's already, who signed up, who's grandfathered in. But definitely, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Or if you just like to donate to the channel, my PayPal and Venmo is also going to be in the description. My PayPal and Venmo, and that's going to be on the bottom left of the video. Just look out for the bottom left for the description. Especially, hey, if you guys are always looking at YouTube, you follow other people's channels as well. You know what the description part is at the bottom left. But anyways, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Let's get ready for this alt season. Let's go. All right, catch you guys in the next one. Peace.